Welcome back to Heroclix headquarters. I've come to bargain for the top 5 Doctor Strange. Without further ado, let's get to the list. Alright, and starting us off at number 5, we have all 3 shifting focus Doctor Stranges from Avengers Defenders War. We'll take a look at the common one first. He has the shifting focus Doctor Strange trait, the Defenders Together trait. All of them are different. His once per turn for all characters with this trait. If a character uses the Defender's team ability to replace its defense with Doctor Strange's, you may re-roll 1 of the attack dice. So that's really cool. A little bit better than regular prob because you could just re-roll the highest die. Maybe they rolled like a 1 or 2 on the other one. So that's really helpful. And then we have the movement power here. Is the only other power he has. Doctor Strange can use phasing teleport. When he does, he may carry up to 2 friendly characters or 4 friendly characters if they all have the Defender's keyword. He does only have Defenders and Mystical on all 3 of his shifting focus versions. And you can take a look at the back of his card there. He's got a 12 movement with that special and some flight and some indomitable and Defender's team ability. So he's not bad. He's really good at just getting your team into position to start with. So the uncommon one, with his Defenders Together trait, it says that they can reduce the damage dealt by an additional 1 if they have the Defender's keyword, if they replace their defense with Defender's team ability, which is really awesome if they already have like toughness and vuln, whatever. They could potentially reduce like 3 damage from an attack. And then he also has on his defense, he can use Defend if an adjacent friendly character takes damage from an attack. After actions resolve, you may heal that character 1 click. If you do, roll a d6 on a 1 or a 3, deal Doctor Strange 1 unavoidable damage. Which isn't too bad since he is only, your 50-point kind of carry and defend piece most of the time. This one does have an 18 with that defend and some sidestep, so you can get him where he needs to be with it. And then, reducing 1 extra damage on Defender's keywords characters, and then potentially healing a damage after that too. He really helps keep your people alive. Finally, we have the rare one. His Defenders Together trait says that they can modify their defense value an additional +1 if they have the Defender's keyword, which isn't very helpful. I'll just show you real quick. He only has like a 16 defense the whole time, so at least he can get them to a 17. But this is really the attacker version. He's got the sidestep, penetrating blast, energy shield, and then he's got that special damage power where he can use empower and enhancement. And as a unique modifier, he can also modify their attacker's attack value by +1. So he does also have the improved targeting, ignores characters. So you're going to want to keep him behind your teammates so he can shoot through them with that penetrating blast. And he can also, give them that enhancement. This is the one you want to switch to when you're making your attacks. So yeah, they're really good on a defender's team. And for only 50 points, they can do a lot of good things for you. Carry, reducing damage, and enhancing your own damage. So they're going to come in at number 5. And coming in at number 4, we have the convention exclusive Doctor Strange with his D20 powers. So here's a look at his card. I won't read everything on it. He does have Avengers, Defenders, Illuminati, Midnight Suns, and Mystical keywords. So much better options than our number 5, and he has his trait that as a free action roll, his d20, and he can use the indicated power until your next turn. He's got the Mystics team ability. He's got pretty good stats and powers. I'm just going to go ahead and open his card so you guys can kind of take a look at all the different types of powers he has on there. We'll be here all day if I read all of these. There's 20 different options that he could potentially roll for. And now this Doctor Strange is really good. The main reason that I put him at number 4 is because he's just a little too random. He has 150 points, and I mean, sometimes some games he can be really the best thing ever, and some games maybe not so much. We'll take a little bit closer look at his dial there. He does start with some running shot, penetrating blast, 7 range, flight, indomitable, some probs, some super senses. He does have a pretty long dial. But like I said, he's so good. I love him a lot, but he's just a little too random. You never know what you're going to get with that D20 power. Can't exactly plan around it. But he is great, so he's going to come in at number 4. All right, and coming in at our number 3 pick, we have the super rare from Avengers Black Panther and the Illuminati. All right, and we'll take a quick look at his card here. He does have the Avengers, Defenders, Illuminati, Mystical keywords. He's got improved targeting hindering, which is really nice. He also has this optional 5-point trait that he can start the game with the Soul Gem equipped, which is really what you're going to want to do to get the most use out of him. And we'll take a quick look at that if you don't know what it does. The Soul Gem, modify defense +1, steal energy, but with close or range attacks. And when this character hits, if the attack roll was 10 or higher, after resolutions, heal 1 click. So it gives you steal energy from ranged attacks, which is going to be really helpful with Doctor Strange. On his attack power there, he has Precision Strike when Doctor Strange uses it and has the Soul Gem equipped and heals from steal energy. After resolutions, you may heal all adjacent friendly characters 1 click. So that's a nice way to heal not only yourself, but your friendlies. And then on his defense, he has Defend and Energy Shield Deflection. And on his damage, he has Perplex. And when Doctor Strange uses it to target another friendly character, you may choose a standard damage power that character can use. Doctor Strange can use that power until your next turn. So that can be really helpful if you target a friendly character that has like probability control or outwit, or maybe you want some shape change to help your defense, or maybe you want some range combat expert to make a big range attack. Whatever the case may be. Then let's take a look at his dial here. So as you can see there, he has an 8-range double target. He has the Mystics and Avengers team abilities. He does have that 18 with the Defend and Energy Shield Deflection. And don't forget that if you do pay the 5 points for the gem, that will give him a +1. So he'll be a 19 defense with Energy Shield, making him a 21 from range, which is pretty crazy. He does have that Perplex special on his damage there to start with too. I do wish he started with maybe an 11 attack by himself. He is 120 points, and it'd be nice if he had like maybe a stop click or something. But he does have, that 11 attack and prob on the back end, so good chance to heal from steal energy. He can be very powerful. I would put him higher on the list if he had, another click or 2 of life, or maybe a stop click or something. Or Indomitable. If he had Indomitable, he'd definitely be worth it. But he is a little pricey at 120, but he can be good. So he's going to come in at number 3. And coming in at number 2 on our list is the title character, Doctor Strange, Earth's Guardian, from the Avengers Defenders War set. I really like the sculpt on this guy. He's got that awesome axe flying through the air. Super cool looking. And he is only 80 points. He does have the Mystics team ability. We'll take a quick look at the back of his card there. He's got some Sidestep, Penetrating Blast, Energy Shield Deflection, and Prob. Of course, he's got the Flight, some good 7 range. And take a look at the inside of his card. We can see what his title character abilities are. So for +1, you can modify his or an adjacent friendly character's damage value by +1. And then for the -1 effect, adjacent friendly characters can use the Mystics team ability until your next turn. That can be very helpful. And then this awesome -4 effect for the rest of the game, as long as Doctor Strange is on the map, you may re-roll an attack roll each turn. And he does start with 2 plot points. So it could only take you a couple turns to get to that -4 ability. And if you combo that re-roll and attack every turn with his top dial prob, you have the potential to re-roll 2 attacks in a turn. You could modify his damage to 4 for his Penetrating Blast, or friendly's damage if you need to. You can -1 to give Mystics to friendly characters. This is one of my favorite Doctor Stranges for the points. He does only have the Avengers and Mystical keywords, but he's a good mix of attack and support character, which Doctor Strange tends to be, and he's a nice cheap point value. So for all those reasons, he's coming in at number 2. All right, before we get to our number 1, I'll go through some quick honorable mentions. Over here, Doctor Strange from the Secret Invasion set. For 149 points, he's pretty expensive, but he does have this cool trait that allows him to ignore characters in hindering terrain for line of fire. He's got a lot of good keywords. He's got the Spider-Man team ability, and he's got this special damage power that he can use Perplex, and when he does, you can roll a d6, and on our 5 or 6, you can modify the chosen combat value by plus or minus 2, so that's pretty helpful. He does have a 10 range double target, again, that ignores hindering and characters, and he's got some 11 attack, 18 defense with defend, some flight with 11 movement and phase teleport, 3 damage with that Perplex special. He didn't quite make the list because he is rather old at this point. 149 points is a lot, and he's very good at top dial, but he does tend to, of course, go downhill pretty quickly from there. I'd say after, the first 2 or 3 clicks, like most of these characters, he drops to like a 9 attack and doesn't really get any better from there. And then the next one we have here is the OP kit, Doctor Strange. I like this one a lot, actually. I've used him several times, mostly at his 150 point value. For the 150 points, he has a trait that gives him willpower. I love the trait here, Protective Auras. Give him a free action. Choose one of the following: Shape Change, Toughness, or Modify Defense +1. Doctor Strange and adjacent friendly characters can use the chosen effect. So it's really nice. He does have Mystic's team ability. He's 150 or 75 points. The main thing I do love about him, too, is his defense power, that he can use probability control once on your turn and once per attack when it isn't your turn. So that means as long as he has range and line of fire on them, he can prob every single attack your opponent makes. And then later on, he gets this damage power where you can give him a power action. Choose a friendly character within 3 squares in line of fire, roll a d6 that can't be rerolled, and heal the chosen character half the result. Or you can give him a double power action and target every friendly character within 3 squares instead. So that's really nice, and that does target himself too. You can target him normally, or every character within 3 squares does include himself. So it will heal him when he gets damaged. The main reason he's not quite on my list is just because he is a great support character at 150 points, but that's just too many points for a support character. After that first couple clicks of like a 10 attack, 3 damage, he goes down pretty quick. He does have Perplex and that Super Prob, and then if you start him on his 75 point line, he'll start with some Running Shot, Penetrating Blast, and Outwit, so he can be kind of an attacker, but he only has 4 clicks of life at that point, so he goes down pretty quick. And the next Doctor Strange I have here is from Galactic Guardians. This one's only 75 points. You can see he starts there with some Phase Teleport, Energy Explosion. He's got that 8 range with Perplex and that special defense power, which reads, Doctor Strange and adjacent friendly characters can use Energy Shield Deflection, which is really nice. He's got some good keywords there too. A nice low 75 point cost. I like him a lot. I've used him several times in the past just to give my whole team Energy Shield Deflection, and that Perplex comes in handy. And he's not too bad of a secondary attacker with the 10 attack, 8 range Energy Explosion. He's just not quite effective enough to make the list. And the last one I want to talk about is the other Doctor Strange from Galactic Guardians here at 196 points. You can see there he starts with an 8 range, 11 attack, Penetrating Blast, 3 damage with Prob, 18 Impervious, 10 movement with Flight and Phase Teleport. He's got all the good keywords again. I really like this guy for the Astral Form trait that lets you give him a power action to generate an Astral Doctor Strange in an adjacent square. Down here, you can see he has this special, you can give him a free action to choose an opposing character adjacent to one of his Astral Doctor Stranges. And this turn, Doctor Strange can target the chosen character regardless of range, squares, or line of fire when making a ranged combat attack or using Outwit or Perplex. So that can come in handy. You can kind of just keep him in your starting zone and have your Astral Stranges move up and become adjacent so he can, shoot them from spawn, basically. He also has this Defender's Portal that characters possessing the Defender's keyword or team ability who begin an action adjacent to Doctor Strange can use Phase Teleport but have their speed value So that's kind of nice on like a defender's team. You can phase teleport to help them get out of spawn. Of course, he has defenders and mystics team ability there. The main thing is he's just way too many points. He's a lot of fun, but almost 200 points is just too much. He does not have willpower. That's kind of the deal breaker. And this is one of the Astral Doctor Stranges he can make. One of them starts with Smoke Cloud. The other one starts with the Incapacitate. They both have this trait that says when they're KO'd, roll a d6. On a 1 through 3, give all friendly characters named Doctor Strange an action token. Which again, without any kind of willpower, is really going to hurt you if they kill one of these guys. They only have super senses as a defense power. They also don't require opponents to break away, don't block line of fire, cannot have damage transferred by Mastermind, cannot be the target of Perplex, but they may be given a move action as a free action once during your turn. So to be able to phase teleport them as a free action is pretty nice. It just makes it a lot of fun to use with this guy, but like I said, he's just too many points to make the list. Anyway, without further ado, let's go check out our number 1. And portaling in at our number 1 spot is the Chase Doctor Strange from Captain America and the Avengers. This guy definitely has the best sculpt of any Doctor Strange yet. That awesome portal effect flying through, super cool, super awesome to look at. Better look at the portal marker there, pretty cool. And then we'll take a look at his card. He does have the Avengers, Defenders, Illuminati, and Mystical keywords. He's got this cool trait, summon everyone for the final battle, phase teleport, but only if Doctor Strange isn't adjacent to an opposing character. When Doctor Strange uses it, you may generate a portal marker in the square he began or ended his movement in, removing any other portal markers. Other friendly characters occupying or adjacent to the square with the portal marker can use phase teleport but modify speed +2. So that's really good to help get your characters moving around. It's also really good to help the movement of like charge, running shot, or hypersonic characters. And then he also has this awesome defense power, Super Senses Defend. When a friendly character replaces their defense value with his, you may choose that the replacement value be one higher or one lower than his printed defense value. So that's really helpful. If we take a look at the back of his card there, he's got an 18 to start with, so he can defend people up to a 19 defense. And then he also has probability control. He's got stealth to keep himself safe, and some TK. And with that 8 range probability control and that 11 attack, he can still be making attacks and being useful. He has not only the Mystics, but also the Power Cosmic team ability. That gives him some willpower, gives him protected outwit, which is amazing for only 75 points. And if you wanted to, you could push him or maybe just wait till he gets hit with an attack, and then he's going to go into a running shot penetrating blast, like full-on Sorcerer Supreme mode with the energy shield deflection and the 4 damage, and then you get some Perplex later on. And the really cool thing too is at the back part of his dial there, where he gets that 17 defend power again, you can actually defend characters down to a 16 defense, and then you can use that support he has there to heal them. You only need to roll a 6 that way to heal them. So it's really cool, a lot of synergy there. He's only 75 points, and I think he really balances the support aspect of Doctor Strange and the like Sorcerer Supreme battle mode of Doctor Strange. So for all of those reasons, he's going to be number 1. That does it for this top 5 list. If you like this list, make sure you leave a like on this video. Don't forget to click that subscribe button so you don't miss any future videos, and leave any comments below if you'd like to see your favorite character in our next top 5 list. Until next time, this has been Heroclix Headquarters, signing off. Welcome back to Heroclix Headquarters. I've come to bargain.